I'm Luke Wakefield, CEO and co-founder of Siteglide, and I'd like to show you our product called Studio and how you can get the most from it using Figma, which is an online tool for design. We've created a free Figma file that you can use, and then it would translate directly into matching up with our Studio module within Siteglide. So the first thing you do is come to our Studio website, studio.siteglide.com. You'd see the Figma file button in the banner. Just click that, and that will take you off to the community page in Figma, where you can then duplicate this item. You just click duplicate, and that will create another file, a copy of the Studio Figma file. You'll see the first page is a cover page. You then come to the branding section. So in here, this is where you set up all the global styling for your client project. You come into the colors section, and you would actually just go in and change. So using Command or Control on a Mac and a PC, you can then select something. On the right hand side, you would then come in and edit that style. So let's say the primary color for this client is bright pink. That will then update. You can then name that pink if you wanted to, just for consistency and to show other users. And I'm going to leave the secondary color as it is, which is a dark blue. I'm going to leave the logos for now, but you just replace the logos, and then come across to the headings and the fonts. So in here, each one of these is set up individually, so you can set the font that you're using here, which at the moment is Montserrat, but then you would want to go through and edit those. So let's say heading 1, you click on it, click the edit styles button again, and pick the font that you want to use. So just to make it obvious, I'm going to go with Comic Sans. See, that's updated there. We then went into, and you'll see down here the paragraphs have now updated to pink. You could also change your body text as well. This will look a little interesting, but let's do that. Change the body to Comic Sans as well. Let's see, that's updated paragraphs. If we then go to step 2, which is components, you'll see things like loads of different icons. They come from Font Awesome. We've got buttons. They automatically pick up your primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Those haven't changed because they're the light and dark versions. So if we just go back to branding, we have light and dark versions of each primary color. So all you would do is match that color. If we quickly just do that, you'd match it here, and then on HSL you just go and it'll make it 10% darker if you just change the final box to 10 less. And you do the same for light and dark. You don't have to use 10%. It's just how we set things up, and it's pretty common practice to have a lighter and a darker version. So we just come across the components. You'll see then now that's updated on the darker one. You just have to do the lighter one. And then if we go across to inputs, that won't really have any effect on these because they're pretty standard. But if you changed certain things, it would update there. And then we've got cards as well, like item layouts, so blog cards, payment cards, team forms, that kind of stuff. They're all updated accordingly. And you'll see we've got some Comic Sans in there for the event card. We then come across blocks. We've got all our different blocks that have been updated based on color and font. Fonts have changed here. Let's say you've noticed here you wanted that to change as well. Like you can just press Command or Control, select that one, and you can either change the font to select another one that you've already created, or again you can come in and customize that font specifically. So we make that Comic Sans as well, and then that will update anywhere where that that specific heading is in use. You'll see here, if I go to the components itself, go to the component, it's using header 2. So I could actually just change that and use header 3, but I wanted to keep it as it was. So that's customizing your blocks based on global styles. You can then customize these so that they change and that every time you use these, it would look exactly the same. Or you can then come to pages and start piecing them together as a page. So you'll see here, pick some of those core components and blocks and put them together into a page, and it's picked up all of the global styling as well. But let's say you didn't want that block here. So you just click on that, come across to here, and then go, I actually wanted content section 2. You'll see it'll automatically change the height and everything. It's all using something auto layout, which automatically gets the sizing and everything right for you. We've set all of this up so you can very quickly build out sites. Let's say you didn't want that background color to be secondary. You wanted it just to be your lightest gray. So you could set that. Let's actually set it to something a bit more sensible, darkest gray. That's grey there. So you can play about with those and do those as much as you want. And again, back in your branding, you can customize all of those colors and things. It might be actually that you wanted this background to be white. So we can do that as well. Here we go. So then you'd have colors and you'd have to change your text colors. So yeah, you can play around with that. You can get it all set up, fully customize it. If you want to create your own sections, you can. We would recommend probably copying the closest one first, because then when you come across to the development side of things, you would do exactly the same. Your developer would copy the most similar layout and customize that from there. This will keep growing. We'll keep adding more layouts, module and dynamic layouts, things like e-commerce, that kind of stuff. We'll keep adding to that. But for now, you can just come in, take a copy, and start designing and building sites. So this one's all about how to use the Figma side of things. I would recommend trying to use the branding and the components so that you keep it all organized, because then it will actually match up with the module as well in Siteglide. Then I'd recommend watching the next video, which will be about how to create a site in Siteglide, customize the Studio module for things like global styling, branding, and then start using our layout library and visual page builder to pull it all together. Thank you.